got someone up from the South African Defence Union right now. He's going to chat to us about what the SANDF members actually say about being redeployed to the hotspots in Gauteng and how they feel about not being vaccinated. As you heard there from the Brigadier General, over half of them not vaccinated and probably only going to be vaccinated tomorrow. How do they actually feel about this? Well, from the Defence Union, we've got Pikkie Greef. Pikkie, it's been a long time since we spoke to you, but what are your members saying about what we just heard there? Only half of the members have been vaccinated.
Well, if we're referring to half the members, I'm sorry, I didn't hear part of that conversation. At this stage, there's a very small contingent to be deployed in Gauteng. Our understanding is that there is vaccines available for that small contingent, and we would like to see all of the small contingent being vaccinated before they deploy on the specific deployment. But I also think we must bear in mind that there are still some processes to be followed through the presidential office as well before these people can actually deploy feet or boots on the ground.
Tell me about the protocol there, please, from the presidency.
Well, the president has to issue a proclamation whereby he informs Parliament that a certain contingent, the size of the contingent, the duration of the deployment, and the purpose of the deployment. And that has to be signed by the president before the deployment will even become legal. So the meeting that was held yesterday was simply a contingent of SANDF members who are intended to be deployed. And our concern is quite simply that we would like to see that contingent fully vaccinated. We have had complaints from some of them that they are concerned about the fact that they are not vaccinated yet. Our understanding is that they will be vaccinated before they deploy. The bigger question is, once this deployment, there's a very big possibility that this deployment may become larger, involve more soldiers, and that's when we are going to reach a point of concern. There is just no feeling on the ground that there is a plan to deal with vaccinating all soldiers who are going to deploy.
Mr. Greef, are you saying that until this proclamation is signed by the presidency, soldiers cannot go into hospitals tomorrow in Gauteng?
Well, look, there is an exception to that requirement, which is that the president can deploy soldiers, but thereafter, within 7 days, must inform Parliament of the deployment. And that's in emergency situations. So it might be that that is what the presidency is going to be looking at, but certainly there hasn't been a proclamation yet. We would be keen to see that proclamation as soon as possible, as we are keen to see the vaccinations taking place before these soldiers actually go into hospitals.
The SANDF medics, I presume that they're going to actually be on the emergency room or COVID floor, and they're able to do things like intubation, CPAP, etc. Is that the plan?
Well, it seems that the plan is that they're mostly going to partake in screening and testing. Obviously, there will be situations where emergency assistance is required because they're qualified medical personnel. And we must not lose sight of the fact that these medical personnel, these soldiers, and medical personnel in uniform, at one or other stage, if they're not vaccinated and they're exposed to these hotspots at the very front line, so at some stage they go back to military installations. So it's a very dangerous idea to be playing with, to deploy these soldiers without the necessary precautions being taken, which are available, which are on hand. If there's a failure to do that, that would equate to endangering one's own forces.